Hi everyone. Welcome to our ACE event today on Jira Work Management. So just so everyone knows, this is our last ACE event for this year, but we're still really excited to be showing you around Jira Work Management. Ash is your speaker for today, and he'll take you through most of the presentation and the demo for today. If this is your first time at one of our events, welcome everyone. If you have been to one of our events in the past, welcome back and thanks for showing your support.
Cool. Thanks, Nadia. And welcome again, everyone. And yeah, as Nadia said before, to those who came to our last ACE event, welcome back. So today's agenda. So we're going to start, so we're just going to, obviously going to go through a welcome and introduction, who I am and how I'm part of ACE and all of that. Going to go through the demo, an overview into Jira Work Management of a team project, as well as in that project show you guys a couple of cool pro tips and hacks, which I'll talk about in a moment. And then we'll just have a Q&A at the end. So about myself, so my name's Ash Pitt. I've been using Jira since 2012 in Scrum Master and product roles across small startups and large corporate environments. In my role now, I help our customers implement the best solutions based on their unique requirements and helping them get the most out of their Atlassian product suite. I'm also an Atlassian community leader, which is why we're all here. We're what part of that is definitely getting some of these events up and sharing some awesomeness that can be done. So just around Strategenics and what we do as well. So at Strategenics, I've taken the experience that I've had and I've helped that to, I've used that to help a diverse portfolio of our customers achieve their business goals with the right software and the Atlassian products. And I think our team is probably the most uniquely positioned business I've seen to adopt the cloud-based collaboration software, just because of how remote we are. In essence, here's what our whole team's location and departments look like. We started our remote collaboration journey way before 2020, and we're still going at it. In fact, we're pushing through even harder being a cloud-first remote team. And throughout our 11-year journey, Atlassian actually has been the perfect suite of tools to help our team and customers manage tasks and collaborate efficiently. And part of that is obviously why we're here, Jira Work Management. So Jira Work Management, for those who haven't used it, and even for those who have, it has more than 20 templates to choose from. So all have pre-configured workflows specifically for business teams, saving Jira admins the headache of creating new workflows for every use case and those kind of things. So for example, you can see on the screen there, you've got templates for asset creation, performance review, task tracking. I've even used it for home renovations. It's quite versatile in what you can use that for as well. Now, the teams using Jira Work Management can view their work in 4 familiar ways. So one is around having this really awesome list view. So you can see at a glance who's assigned to what, when it's due, and its priority, and set a few other things. There's also a really nifty calendar view that'll show you when items are due, but also when it starts and finishes, when that's due as well. So this will be, I'll be able to show this all through the demo as well. This is kind of my favorite. I like the timeline view where you can see the process of where everything's going and who's doing what and the time it's going to take. You can also link dependencies and those kind of things with it. So it's a really nice, easy visual way. And then you've got the Kanban board as well. So you can manage your tasks through that workflow. So that's for your day-to-day operations. And you can easily see what's assigned to you, what's due, and those kind of things. Now, for our demo today, so we're just taking an example of the month-end closing process that happens in the finance world. So this is just something we grabbed off the old internet about the 10, kind of 10 standard end of month processes, just to show you guys how in a scenario we can we can replicate that in Jira Work Management. Today, I'll be going through the process of recording incoming cash, recording incoming cash, reconciling accounts, and then activities prepare for the next month. Not an accountant, so don't pull me up on anything technical, but this will show you that process. Now, as far as our demo team for today, so for those who may or may not know me, I do like a bit of my superhero stuff. So we have Barry Allen, who is going to record the incoming cash from the previous month. We've got Diana, who needs to reconcile accounts. We have Bruce, who needs to forecast for next month. And we have Wade Wilson, who's responsible for the work. For anybody who's also in tune with that, I know Wade Wilson's not part of the DC universe, but I don't care. Deadpool can do anything. All right. So the pro tips and fun hacks that we're also going to go through in the demo, as I said, everything that I'm going to go in demo as far as task creation, allocation, all that stuff is all going to be automated. So that's going to be really cool. And as far as what we're doing for integration, I'll be showing a couple of cool nifty tricks around Microsoft Teams. So how you can integrate your current workload with Teams. So for those who are working within that, within your team space can see what's going on and how you can customize that activity as well. Okie dokie. It is now time for the demo. How exciting. Cool. Okay, so the demo itself, so this here is Jira Work Management. It's basically part of the Jira software suite that you get. So and it's just a different type of project, but it's definitely geared more for the business kind of view. So just as a quick demo here, you'll see that there is nothing here at the moment because we're about to create some stuff. But you've got the ability, you can have your summary, access the list view that I showed on the PowerPoint before, the board, the calendar, timeline. There's also a nifty function called forms, which will allow you to build any kind of custom form. So that way, someone who needs to lodge a request or something like that within your team can create that. You can create a form that they can submit, and then that can create a Jira issue out of that as well. You've then got standard issue views, and you've got some reports that'll be able to show you things like created versus resolved, recently resolution time, all of the standard things that you kind of get out of Jira. You've got those reports there as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a quick look here at the board. So this is where the work happens. So in essence, the really cool thing about Jira Work Management compared to Jira is that you can create your task directly from the board here. So this is a task. Now, this workflow is a fairly standard one. It's to do in progress, in review, done. One of the key differences between this and Jira software is that it is just one workflow per project. So in this case, to do in progress, in review, done. If you've got a lot more workflows or a lot more steps in a workflow, you can definitely create those in different projects to manage those. But either way, it gives it a nice view on the screen, and you're able to easily move things from any status as well. Now with this task, I should say, you can choose who you're going to assign that to. You can put in a due date. You can put in a start date, which could be actually today, and the due date's next week. And you can add a few other custom fields and those kind of things if you wanted to. We don't have this for the demo, but just to show you guys how that then translates. If we go back to our list view, we can see that task that's here. We can also see the calendar as well, where that sits, and where that sits in the timeline. But that's all well and good, but that's good for creating manual tasks and those kind of things. But what I really want to show you guys is using some automation to schedule some kind of monthly tasks that, just are recurring and taking some of the effort out of it. So what we're going to do is create those tasks that I mentioned in the presentation earlier, basically with a click of a button today, but they'll be scheduled at a certain point in time. So here I'm going to show you guys, this is recording the incoming cash for the previous month. So using Jira automation, there's a few things you can do here. So you can set up a whole heap of different styles of automation. So it can be when an issue is transitioned, when something happens, do this. So in this case, we're doing this as a scheduled task. So we're choosing on the first day of the month at a certain point in time, create a new task. And so this task here is going to be recording incoming cash for the previous month. So you can use the smart values that are within Jira to dynamically create those certain things. And then you can put it in that description as well. You can also dynamically have a due date created based on the task as well. So in this case, with this particular issue that's being created, it's going to be due in 5 days' time. And you can also choose if you want that assigned to somebody specifically as well. So if you've got a smaller team and you know that somebody takes on this particular task, you say, well, I want you to do that. Now, as far as the settings and those kind of things as well, so with automation, you can choose to have an actor, and an actor is who performs the task. Now, generally, if you just want it to be automation that does it, it can say automation for Jira, but you can actually have it act on your behalf. So in this case, I'm doing it as per Wade Wilson, because Wade Wilson is off, doing other things that are more exciting than managing projects. So it's going to come from him there. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and run this rule, and that will appear in my board, which I'll show you shortly. Now the reconciling accounts for the previous month, same kind of deal here. It's still a scheduled task, but which I will run. What I'll also show you is that we've got a subtask that we can create with that project, with that issue association as well. So so you can have rules that run off other rules. So what's going to happen here is that Diana is going to get that task that's required, and then I have a whole heap of subtasks that are associated. So this is around reconciling cash, checking and savings accounts, prepaid or accrued, or bank loans and notes. So that way they can be individually signed off as they go. And you can even set up automation that closes out the main task when it's all done. So I don't need to run that one. And then this one here is just for Bruce. So this is set to forecast for the next month. So it's really just the same kind of deal here, but it's just a different value. Now this will actually say January next year because it's designed to run it on the 1st of December. But that's cool. So we'll run that rule here. And just some other nifty notifications that are here as well. That if something is due in a certain amount of time, I've got something set here to say, if it's due in 2 days, comment on the task to say it's due in 2 days, you better sort it out, and also send an email as well. So, you can have that automatically come in. So once again, it takes a lot of the pressure off there. I'm not going to run that rule just yet. And then just, so there's heaps and heaps of automations. But they are definitely things that you can set up early on. Once you know what you need to do for your process, that'll absolutely help take away a lot of the follow-up, the manual work that's required in there. So that's really cool. Well, I think it's really cool. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'll jump back to my board, and you can now see that I've got these tasks all here. So if I, once again, go to that list view, you'll be able to see who's assigned to these issues when they're due, and who reported them as well. So once again, that if we're talking a monthly process and you've got that down pat, it's just there. I've done absolutely nothing except set it up for the first time. Now, as far as looking at this as well, so you can see that you've got the description, and you can start commenting, tagging people on it. I can say, hey, Barry, what's going on. And Barry would get a notification around that as well. Yeah, and really just, it's kind of a similar thing as well with Jira software, where you can just, move that in progress. You can move it however which way you want. So it can go through that process and then, effectively move it into done when it's done. So that's kind of the, so now you can see we've got tasks where we've created when they're due. You can see that on the calendar view. So you'll have that nice look there. On the timeline, you can see here, if something's due, it will put it when it's due there. But if you don't have a start date, it'll just kind of guess that. But you can kind of see what's happening there. This is really cool as well, where you can link dependencies on certain initiatives as well. So you can have that view to sort of think, oh, this needs to be done before that. So very visual. And you can, obviously put that into month or quarterly views as well, however long you need on the work management. So that's effectively the real basic introduction into Jira Work Management, how you can manage tasks and workflows and those kind of things, and definitely leverage automation. The one last bit I wanted to show you as well. So with the Jira software is has very good Slack and Microsoft Teams integration. I'm going to show you how Microsoft Teams integrates and how you can set that up as well. So over here, I've got my Microsoft Teams instance. Now, if you go directly into a channel that you would say want to add the Jira Cloud piece in for, you can just go to any channel here, and I'm not going to do it, but you can have a search for Jira, and that'll add in a Jira Cloud widget. So with this widget tab, same thing. So here, what I've already set up is a predefined filter that says, show me everything that's not done. So from your Teams channel, you'll be able to interrogate the data that you've got within your project and bring that out here. So you'll be able to actually see everything that needs to be done from Teams, which is pretty cool. However, there is another integration that I find very useful as well. And this is by a company. I'll just quickly. Called Move Work Forward. These guys make a lot of apps that are connectors. So they make a Jira to Microsoft Teams connector that can allow you to basically push a feed up through your Atlassian, through your Microsoft Teams instance. So if I go back to this project here, you'll see that I've had a few that have come up that have said, like when it's created, show me this task and who's created it. So this one here, has just created everything that we've been going through, and it's just pushed it through. So you can see that Wade created this task. And if I click on that, it will take me directly to the Jira issue. And so you can see how that all works. Now, as far as setting that up, you can do that without being an admin or anything like that of your Teams account. It is really quite simple. So in this, so Microsoft Teams has these things called connectors. And so you can do a search. And in this case, it's actually just called an incoming webhook. And so you can see that you're setting up a webhook here. So I'll just say demo, create. And now what it's going to do is it's going to have a think about this. And it's going to say, all right, here's my webhook. I'm going to copy that. Then I'm going to go to my project settings in here. And in Microsoft Teams, I'm going to go into this plugin. Now, this is my existing one that I've got here. I'm going to create a new one. Now, this here is really cool because you've got that feed coming into Microsoft Teams. you might want it to be on issue created, or you might want to choose an event. So it might just be that you want to know if something's updated or if someone's commented on something, something's transitioned, all this kind of stuff. You can customize and choose how that goes in there as well. You could also select whether it's you only want to hear about high priority stuff, or you only want to hear about anything that certain people are assigned to, or those kind of things. Either way, configuring that is fairly simple. The main thing here is that you can just put in that webhook that we got from the connector on Microsoft Teams, and done. That's going to then connect it to that channel. So as I said, I've just put it for when an issue is created. So if I go back to my issue here now, so I go back to my board, and I will create a new task. It's come through here. So it's probably the connector that I've created. Anyway, it works. So that is the demo for Jira Work Management, and a couple little hacks that can definitely help out there. So as far as just a couple of other things, what's coming up in Jira Work Management as well. So everything that I've shown you is what's up to date. Atlassian released their software via cloud, so it's always just updated and there for you, so nothing to upgrade or those kind of things. But there'll be additional information where you can view issue hierarchies and those kind of things on the list view. So if you've got things like epics and issues, subtasks, you can view that as opposed to just that list, task view. Business project creation by end users. So at the moment, you would need someone with a particular access to set up in your Atlassian environment to set up a business project for you, but they'll be looking at having that available, that just end users can do that. There is an approvals workflow that's coming through, and it looks similar to Jira Service Management, where there'll be that approval process. So if you've got things coming through and they require approval, you'll be able to do that there. And then just some groupings as well for the list view. So being able to easily group based on assignee status, that can help users find and plan all of those kind of things. So just once again, just efficiencies to help complete that work faster. All right. So now it's time for Q&A. So so feel free. I said the presentation's done. Got any questions or feedback, please join in and ask away. And your mic's been disabled and you can enter your video and all that stuff, so that's fine.
Hi, Ash. Sam McMahon here. I liked how that functionality with Teams, when I'm assuming that when a person's process finishes and it goes to the next person, is that able to then just link into Teams? It just sends a message saying it's now your turn to do that job? Yeah,
so you could definitely have, so one of those triggers could be when it moves into that transition, that progress. If you do that, you could definitely have that, and based on assignee and those kind of things. So yeah, because
one of the key things, I am an accountant, and we have comms that happen every month, and our HR team are constantly chasing people, and I think this would make their life a lot easier if they were able to just have it assigned to the next person. They don't have to do the chasing. So I'm assuming that functionality is fairly simple with Jira.
Yeah, well, everything that I showed you on the screen right now, it is. It definitely helps, like with the way Atlassian's products work and those kind of things. If they're a user, so if they are a user in the system and they participate in that, it makes it so easy just to collaborate, because you can just get email notifications, you can see it on Teams, you can click and view and those kind of things. But yeah, that's the whole idea. The whole premise behind this software is it's built for teams, it's built for collaboration. And this, as as mentioned before, this is what we as our team use day to day. We're in this stuff all the time, and means it actually reduces meetings as well. And it's just it's also really good for accountability and collaboration And part of what I've shown you today is like there's so many other things you can do with it. This is just one bit.
Fantastic. Thanks. Look forward to setting it up and using it.
Mm. Any other questions from anyone? Have I said one?
Hi guys, I just have a quick question around that, the forms. So if you create the form, does it, first of all, does it create a field in Jira? And then the second question around that is, I mean, is that sort of almost like a replacement, not a replacement, but if you don't have Jira Service Management, then just use that for internal usage? Like what would be the use case there?
Yeah, that's right. Like, I mean, I'm looking at it from a form perspective. It seems like it's very much geared to not, it's like we said, you've still got that, you're still going to be part of that internal network that uses Jira Work Management, but it's a form that you build that allows people to submit a query just like it is in Jira Service Management. As far as the creating custom fields, from what I've seen so far, I haven't gone too much in depth, but my assumption is it's similar to actual Jira, where you have to have those custom fields created already in the by a Jira administrator or those kind of things. So, but it should just be easy to drag and drop and those kind of things to build it.
So would you need a license to be able to fill in a form like that?
Yeah, that's right. Like I don't think you can publicly share it. I will be able to validate that for you in about 2 minutes after the call. Okay. That's fine.
That's all right, not a problem.
I think it's a fairly new feature because the slide deck that I was showing was from the Team 21 event earlier this year, and they didn't mention anything about forms. So that was a new one for me. That's a cool thing. There's always a new stuff that comes through. And you're like,
yeah, no, for sure. When you open it up, it's just like there's no warning, it's just new stuff. Probably not a bad thing, but
that's right. That's cool. Cool. All right, guys. Well, look, as I said, I like to give people things, so I'm giving you a minute back in your day. Thank you very much for joining, and feel free to come along to the next one. It's been good. It's been good.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye.